What's going on, YouTube? My name is Joshua Dantes, and welcome to my channel where we talk about faith, fitness, and mindset. And today we're going to talk about execution over excuses and how the 75 Hard Challenge pretty much took me from hesitation to activation. So my wife and I, we finished the 75 Hard Challenge. And for those who aren't aware of what the challenge is, 75 Hard is a challenge created by Andy Frisella. Okay, and in his words, it's pretty much a challenge. It's an Ironman challenge for your brain. Okay, and it consists of no drinking for 75 days. You have to work out twice a day for 45 minutes. One of those workouts has to be outside, one inside. There you have to drink a gallon of water a day, and you also have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book, and you have to adhere to a steady diet. All this for 75 days. Okay, so it is a beast to say the least. And, you know, it's not just based off of what you have to complete during the challenge, but if you miss out on any of these activities during this challenge, okay, if you break one of those rules, no matter what day you're on, you have to start over, okay, from day one. And for me personally, before my wife brought this challenge to me, it was actually a challenge that I've heard of before, okay? And, you know, I've seen the challenge, I was aware of the challenge, and I knew what it entailed, okay? So I knew what I was up against, but when I initially came across this challenge, it was something that I pretty much wasn't interested in, okay? My thought process was pretty much, you know, from the state of, or from the perspective of, I'm cool without this challenge. You know, whether I do it or whether I don't do it, I'm still going to get where I need to be in life. Work out twice a day for what, right? The workout that I do once a day was just fine. This was my mindset, right? What do I need to follow a diet plan for? You know, I'm already eating okay. I also drink a decent amount of water. Why do I need to add on a gallon of water to it, right? And this was literally my thought process when I first stumbled across this challenge, right before she brought it to me. So you can imagine why, like during that time when I initially came across it, why I wasn't ready to embark on this journey, you know? And the reason being is I wasn't ready physically for this journey because I wasn't in where I needed to be mentally. Okay, so let me say that again. I wasn't ready for the 75 Hard Challenge the first time that I stumbled across of it physically because I wasn't where I needed to be mentally, right? And when you think about it, when I came across it the first time, what was I doing, right? And the answer is I was pretty much making excuses as to why I wasn't going to do this challenge, or why this challenge wasn't good for me, as opposed to fixing my mindset on the impact this challenge could have on my life in a positive way, right? In comparisons to just thinking about the negative component about it at that time. And this is just where I was in my life, right? I could have just executed at this time, but I'm a firm believer that it was brought to me in which, you know, at a time in my life where I was prepared to take on what it entailed, okay? So this challenge for me, in terms of how it relates to not just myself, but how it relates to a lot of us out here in, you know, in today's society, is this is exactly what's going on with a lot of us, right? We wonder why we aren't where we're wanting to be in life when it comes to certain things. And the reason is, it's because, like, we rather make excuses as opposed to focusing on the execution, okay? So fellas, we want to be better husbands, right? Our excuse is, she will never understand me as a man, right? She doesn't know what I go through as a man, right? Well, how about you execute on helping her understand who you are as a man, right? And what you go through as a man. And in doing so, it molds you into a better husband because now you're communicating, right? Ladies, you want to be a better wife. Your excuse, he doesn't listen to me when I try to talk to him. And because he doesn't listen to me, I don't even try to tell him how I feel, when I feel it, or why I feel it. Well, how about you try to execute on telling him how it makes you feel when he doesn't listen, and why it's important that you do have his undivided attention, right? Especially being that you're the one he chose to be with for the rest of his life, okay? So now you're communicating, which basically means you're both communicating together, okay? And or just in life, that's when everything changes. You know, it doesn't just pertain to marriage. It doesn't just pertain to relationships. It pertains to everything that you have going on in life, right? If you're looking to be a better parent, okay? If you're looking to be a better friend, right? No matter what it is, we can always get better at executing on the things that we need in life, as opposed to making excuses as to why we can't do something, right? And I know one of the questions is, well, how do you know this, right? How do I know this? And I know this because I'm married, okay? And I've had to learn, and I'm still learning to this day, okay, to be better at certain things so I can love my wife the way that I want her to love me back, okay? I know this because I'm also a parent and a co-parent, right? So I'm learning to love on, I'm learning to communicate and instill the right principles and values in my kids so they can become productive individuals in society, right, that live out their life's purpose. And I'm also trying to do this in a way to where I have to cooperate with someone else, right? So I say all of this because in the grand scheme of things, it's hard, right? Life is hard, right? It's not easy to do any of those things. Just like everyone, life presents its challenges, okay? And one thing that's helped me, you know, throughout my entire life is when it comes to navigating challenges, okay? Even more so now that I'm a little bit older, the fact that I've had something to lean on in my life is what's helped me get through the tougher situations, the tougher circumstances when life presents them to me, right? And that something is my faith, you know, my belief in God. That's what's held me up every time it seemed that life was getting the best of me, right? And when you think about it, you know, there's a verse in the Bible, okay? James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. And this verse says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." Okay? And for me, what this means is we shouldn't run away from the challenge, right? We shouldn't run away from the challenges in life, but instead be joyful that the challenge, be joyful that the trial has presented itself to us, because once the trial is over, right? Once the test is completed, right? The fact that we made it through, the fact that we persevered through it is going to complete us on the other side, which means we get bigger, we get better, and we get stronger, right? So I'm not here to tell you what you should believe in. What I do know is because of my faith, you know, it's the reason that I'm here today. It's the reason why I've been able to hold on so long, right? And it also corresponds with my actions. Those two things is what keeps me to strive and push myself to be the best that I can be, right, in this one life that I have to live, okay? So I'm hoping that today's content helps someone. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow if you did. Thank you for taking the time to connect with me today. We talk about faith,